Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian. I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. I hope that everybody is having a superb weekend so far. Welcome Fuang, hi Patek, Chayani. Good to see many of our members in the class ready to learn. Students, this is a members chat class. Everybody is welcome to watch. And it's a great idea to watch this lesson even if you're not in the chat, because in a couple hours we will have a speaking part 3 live IELTS class. And this IELTS class is speaking part 2. Now speaking part 2 in your IELTS exam is connected to speaking part 3. So speaking part 3 continues with the topic of part 2, and today's topic is about gifts. Gifts, presents, giving them, receiving them. It's kind of a classic topic on the IELTS exam. It has definitely come up in the past several times. Students, this lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com. For academic IELTS, visit us there. For general IELTS, check us out at gieltshelp.com. These are the websites we use all the time for these lessons, whether it's to interact with students, to practice speaking, or using the listening audio as we did yesterday with our practice exams. These websites have all of the materials for you to prepare for your next IELTS test. The academic IELTS website looks like this. We will be using this a little bit later on in the class for connecting with our students. You can click this big red button that's just right above my head there to join our premium IELTS package. It's a one-time payment and you get lifetime access. So you don't need to pay every month, you just pay once. You get all the materials and you can log in every day as long as you need to in order to improve your English, your communication, and your IELTS scores. We are an IDP affiliate. We're a British Council partner. I'm a certified British Council agent. We're an IELTS test registration center, so you are in good hands with us. For the general IELTS, same idea, except it's a green background. The reading and writing focuses on general IELTS in this website, and you can click that big red button there, right up there. All right. Patek, you've got an exam coming up. I hope that goes awesome for you. Make sure to volunteer in today's class for speaking, just to do some last minute practice and study, okay? All right, students, so again, click this big red button on either website, depending on whether you need academic or the general IELTS. And when you do that, make sure to use the discount code Mark 9. This is coming from our newest video release. Members, have you seen that video that we just posted about 30 minutes ago? The discount code Mark 9 will get you a 10% discount, so make sure to use it. And yes, as I mentioned, we just released a speaking video for you that's got some good examples for part 1, part 2 speaking, and some important tips. I see a thumbs up by Chayani, which means I'm guessing, Chayani, you have seen the video, which is great. Students, you can always download the apps. It's a good idea on your phone. Academic IELTS Help, General IELTS Help. The apps will link to the websites. For Instagram, visit us at IELTS_AEHelp and GIELTS Help. That's where we have a lot of our vocabulary posted, as well as some interesting reels for you to learn English. And if you have questions, visit us at, if you have questions, email me at adrian@aehelp.com or admin@aehelp.com. We've got couple of classes for you right now. So speaking part 2 coming up. And then we've got speaking part 3 after. We've got Light Hall tomorrow. Don't forget about that. It's a free class. It's free to register. Light Hall is an awesome platform for live learning. You get to video and audio chat with me in real time to practice your speaking. So check out Light Hall. I just put the link in the chat. So check that out. And then next week we've got classes on the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. That video that we just released about 30 minutes ago, here's the link for that. Check that out when you have a moment. It's an HD video. It's an interview with a candidate from India. It's a very good interview. Her English is very nice and pleasant to listen to. She's got a Band 9 result with that interview, so check it out. All right. IELTS speaking part 2, everybody. Here we go. Let's get into it. So IELTS speaking part 2, it is a card. In fact, in most of the exam centers, when you're sitting the interview face to face, they will kind of show you this little booklet with the questions in big letters. And you will have 1 minute to read the questions, think about your answers, and then you will have 1 to 2 minutes to speak. All right, Chayani, that's great. You've got another week of practice ahead of you. So lots of chances and opportunities for more practice, right? Okay. Karem, good to see you in the class. Romelia, nice to have you in here. Sanantha, see you just joined in as well. Great, fantastic. IELTS speaking part 2. Here we go. So speaking part 2, in most cases, you're going to talk about either a person, a place, an object, an idea, or an event. Sometimes it's a little bit of a combination of 2 of these, but usually the answer focuses on one concept, okay? So either a person, place, object, idea, or event. Each of these kinds of domains or spheres of ideas or knowledge has a specific way to answer so that it's clear for the listener, okay? And we'll get into that. So first, let's read the question carefully. Now, students, this is speaking, so don't just listen to me. Make sure to speak and repeat. Whenever you need to, you can read, of course. Whenever possible, try to do the repetition without reading. Okay, so try to do it just from listening. So listen and repeat. If you have to, then listen, read, and repeat. Okay. All right, but either way, make sure to speak. It's much more effective than if you're just listening to me, right? Listening to a podcast, fantastic. Repeating a podcast, even better. All right, so let's look at this card. Talk about a gift that you have given someone recently. Okay. What is this gift? Where did you get it? When and why did you give this gift? Okay. How was the gift received, and do you expect a gift in return? All right, so that's what you have to talk about. Now, in the IELTS, it is a good idea to read those questions twice, just so that they're really hard fixed in your head and you don't forget to answer them. Remember, students, it's very important to answer all the questions on the cue card to get a high band score, okay? It is very important to answer all of the questions on the cue card to get a good band score. If you don't, you will lose marks. Okay, it's kind of like task incomplete. Okay, members, obviously here we are talking about an object, right? It's a gift. All right. When you talk about an object, what do you need to include in your conversation for clarity? All right, so what should you include? It's very important to remember all of these points. Well, hopefully you come up with the same answers as me. Fuang says appearance. Yes, absolutely. What does the object look like? And you should do it in this order. So first you should talk about the appearance. What does it look like? Let the listener imagine or visualize this object, right? Fuang, the experience, not quite yet. So appearance would be first. Fuang, not really the location. Location would be more for a place. Second would be the origin. Okay, it's kind of like location, Fuang, but it's the origin, right? So where does it come from? Okay. Third, so we know what it looks like, okay? Let's say it's an apple. It was a big, round, red, juicy, shiny apple that I bought from a farmer on my travels to an orchard with my family, and I gifted this to my friend during lunch break, right? So appearance, origin. So third, yeah, the usage. How do we use it, Sanantha? Absolutely. Okay, so how does it work? All right. The apple was nice and big, and it could be chopped into pieces and eaten, or ground into a pulp for cake. Okay. Yeah, Patek, absolutely. So Patek is asking, do we see the question paper? Yes, of course. So here is a little bit of detail about that, Patek. And yes, students always ask me questions when they come to mind. You get to look at the question cue card and your notes for the entire part 2 section or speaking. And it is a very good idea to look at the questions and your notes several times during this part. Okay, so yes, absolutely, Patek. And one of the classic mistakes that many IELTS candidates make is they see the questions once, they see their notes once, and then they talk, and then they completely forget about the questions in their notes. And often they get stuck and they don't know what they're saying, or they go off topic and they don't look at the paper. The examiner is not allowed to tell you to look at the questions or to look at the notes. I wish they were. I wish the examiner could say, just please look at your notes, or can you check the questions, make sure you answered them. But they can't say that. Okay, they're not allowed to prompt you, or they're not allowed to give you any kind of help. So it's up to you to make sure that you're looking at the questions and your notes when you need to. Okay, don't forget about those, no matter how nervous you might be. Okay. All right. Yeah. So going back, when talking about an object, you need to talk about the appearance. Okay. So what it looks like. You need to talk about the origin, where it comes from. You need to talk about the usage often. How do you use it? Right. You need to talk about its purpose. Right. So its function. What can you do with it? Right. And then fifth and last, you can talk about the experience. Okay, who was it that said experience? Fwang said experience. That would be the last. Like, what was it? After I ate the apple, I realized it wasn't really that delicious. It was kind of sour, and the texture was strange, granular. Okay, so fifth would be experience. All right. So think about it that way. Okay, talk about it that way when you're talking about an object. Appearance, origin, usage, purpose, experience. And then you'll probably be answering most of the questions on the card anyway. Like, what is the gift? Is kind of the appearance. Okay. Where did you get it? Is obviously the origin. Okay. When and why, that has kind of the purpose, right? Okay. Or function. And then this last one, how was the gift received and do you expect one in return? That's the experience. So you can see these questions in the card, okay, if you look carefully. All right. All right. So Romelia is excited about this topic. That's great. It's a very common one, this gift kind of topic. It's a very popular one for objects, okay, in some form or another. All right, so you know that it's an object and you know that you need these parts. Now, don't forget the grammar. So really pay attention to the grammar. So here it says, talk about a gift that you have given. Have given is present perfect, right? So it's very important to pay attention to the grammar and use that grammar, okay? So pay attention to the grammar of the question. Here it's present perfect. So your response should use present perfect, past perfect, maybe some present continuous or past continuous, I should say. Okay, so you should focus a lot on the past tense. Now pay attention to the questions. Do you expect a gift in return? That could be present and future, right? So be careful. Okay, next step. Think about some possible answers. So today you can see, members, that I'm moving through these planning stages a little bit faster. Now when you're practicing this, of course, you just have 1 minute to do all of this, so you have to be quick, okay? And this is probably the most important step in your entire speaking section interview, okay? Is choose a good answer, okay? This is the most important decision or step in your IELTS speaking interview. Okay, and the reason why, of course, is because part 3 is connected to part 2. So this will impact both part 2 and part 3 of your speaking. Okay. Not only that, but it will impact, or it will affect your ability to speak in part 2. This will impact your part 2 speaking ability. If you choose a very difficult idea, it could get you into trouble. You might get stuck thinking about vocabulary or what to say. Okay, if you choose an idea that everybody else has chosen, then it will put you in a position where you are in competition with other people's speaking. Even though the IELTS examiners are supposed to consider each interview uniquely, it's very difficult to not compare people's speaking levels if everybody's talking about the mobile phone. Okay, so it will impact your part 2 ability. So let me again just rephrase this for you. For example, if you choose a very difficult topic, you may get stuck and your fluency and coherence can suffer. Okay, or if you choose an answer that is very popular, it will compete with other candidates' speaking ability. And if you had somebody who is an expert in English, a band 9, walk in before you and talk about a mobile phone, and then you're talking about a mobile phone, even if you're a band 7, you might end up with a band 6, because it's going to be very hard for that examiner to be like, well, yeah, okay, that was almost as good as that band 9 that just came in here, right? So you need to be original. Okay, so be original. Pick an easy answer. Okay, and one that you can talk a lot about. All right, so that's what you want to focus on. So be original, choose an easy answer, and one that you can talk about. Now, you want to think of at least 2 to 3 ideas and then pick. And those 2 to 3 ideas will also be useful in your speaking part 3, okay? So the 2 or 3 possible choices that you think about in speaking part 2 will also be very useful when answering speaking part 3 questions. Okay, that's because you can use those ideas, and we will do that today when we have our speaking part 3 practice after this class. So in the next class, then we'll use these ideas. So I see that there's a lot of silence in the chat. I'm sure you're all concentrating, listening, keeping up with the speed of this class. However, I do want you to suggest to me some good ideas, okay, for this one. So here's the question again. Talk about a gift that you have given someone recently. Give me some ideas. What are some gifts that you have given someone recently? Think about original. Think, okay, it's a gift that not everybody's going to say, but it's fairly easy to talk about, okay? So a gift that you have given someone recently. Fwang says a bracelet. Okay. Chayani says flowers. All right. Patek says a book. Okay, Patek, if you say a book, be specific. What would that book be? Okay. When you say flowers, you should be specific too. Okay, so what kind of flowers? Romelia says, can it be a gift that we received, or would that be off topic? That would definitely be off topic. If you talked about a gift that you received, you would bomb that part too, Romelia. It would literally be like... In fact, the examiner would probably stop you as quickly as possible. They would maybe look at their clock and they would stop you exactly at 60 seconds and they'd be like, okay, that's the end of part 2. So if you're talking about a gift that you received, you would be off topic and you would definitely be stopped very quickly, because this question is asking you about a gift you have given someone, not received. So be very careful. Sunantha, if you want to say jewelry, you need to be more specific. Yes, there you go. So Sunantha says a ring. What kind of a ring? Okay. Karim says a smartwatch. Chayani says cotton candy. Okay. All right. Okay, good. So you've got some okay ideas. None of these are kind of jumping out at me as fantastic ideas. I think that so far, if I had to, so from my perspective, I think that a book is pretty good. Okay. A bracelet is okay. Flowers, I think, is very common, and I think there's not much to talk about. Okay. So common, and you could get stuck for ideas. So it's quite tricky to keep talking about that. Bracelet and a book, you could probably talk a bit about. The ring, maybe. Smartwatch, I would avoid that. That's kind of like a mobile phone, tricky to talk about. Okay. Cotton candy, also fairly tricky to talk about. So careful, sometimes ideas seem simple, but they can be quite difficult. Creative Edge says an Audi. Okay, that could be okay. I would maybe, so when you think about a gift, okay, and this is where you have to be a quick thinker, all right? I wouldn't talk about a gift that's either too complex or too simple. So try, look, okay, here's another episode of getting into the mind of Adrian. Okay, so here's my critical thought, okay, when I'm asked this question. So giving a gift to somebody, all right? Nothing too symbolic. And nothing too complex. Instead, something that's relatively simple and with purpose or utility. Okay, so it has some use, all right? So this is what I would be thinking about if I were asked this question in an IELTS exam that's testing not English, but let's say another language. I'd be like, okay, stay away from anything that's too symbolic. When we talk about symbolic, flowers, for example, are very symbolic, okay? A ring could be quite symbolic. A smartwatch or a car could be too complex, all right? Instead, I'd want to come up with something that's relatively simple, okay, but has utility, so has purpose, has use for the individual, okay? Can you give me some objects that fit that description? So relatively simple, but has use for that person. So it's easy for me to describe its appearance. It would be easy for me to explain where I got it from and the reason that I'm gifting it to this person. Okay, so Chayani says a hair bow. Sure. Or for example, like a hair dryer. Okay. A handbag. A perfume, very good. See, now you're coming up with very good ideas. A perfume might be kind of funny. I always felt they're kind of smelly, so I thought, you know, or they need to find a boyfriend, so they need to smell pretty. But sure, perfume, sure. Perfume's a bit symbolic. I like hairdryer, handbag, or a hair bow. Okay, think about it. So simple, useful. Simple, useful. Okay. Simple and useful. Hair dryer would be a good one, for example, right? So quickly try to take a tour around your house. Sunglasses, yes. Absolutely. Sunglasses are great, are a great gift, right? high utility, simple, easy to describe, right? Okay. Think of some more. Okay, take a tour around your house. Think about some objects that are around your house where you're like, oh yeah, I need a new one of those. That would be great. It would be useful. I would appreciate it. I would use it every day. Chinese has a mask. I don't know about a mask. That's kind of an awkward gift, I think. It should make sense, okay? Let's go with handbag. Okay, I think handbag is a very good potential answer here, okay? And a handbag could be useful for male or female. If we want to make it more gender neutral, we could say backpack. Okay. For example, as well. All right. So let's go with a backpack. All right. You might think, it's not that exciting, but why not, right? Backpack or a wallet. That's right. Okay, let's go with a backpack. So notes, that's your next step. Take some notes. What does the backpack look like? Okay, and we'll maybe learn a couple of interesting points to describe a backpack too. So how would you describe a backpack? Okay. Give me some information. There's some good ways to describe backpacks. Okay, let's say it's a sports pack. So, sports pack. Okay, it's a sports backpack. Okay, let's say it's 40 liters. Okay. Yeah, medium size. Chayani would be 40 liters, more specific. That would be about a medium size. Right? Okay. Lots of pockets, waterproof. All right. Good. Yeah. So that's good. Maybe a nice color. Let's make it blue and black. Okay. And you could give it maybe a brand, like it's a Columbia backpack. Okay. So good. All right. Where did you get it? So origin. Okay. Maybe you got it at the mall near your house. How much did it cost, right? So maybe like $150. Okay. And you got it, let's say a month ago. Now, I wouldn't want to say a year ago because always I'm keeping the question in mind, right? So remember that the question says, talk about a gift you have given someone recently. So recently means that it has to be relatively close in time, right? So don't forget about that. If you say like 3 years ago, then the examiner again will be like, didn't you see the part on the question where it said recently? Okay, so the origin mall, $150 a month ago. Sure. Okay. So how do you use it? Okay. All right. How do you use it? Creative Edge, if you just say something like a fortnight ago, the word fortnight is not so special for English users, and it's kind of old English. We don't really use that so much anymore these days, so careful. I'm not sure if you heard somewhere that that's good vocabulary to use, but it won't impress the examiner, just an FYI. It's better to sound natural, like a couple of days ago or 2 weeks ago. We rarely will use that, especially in this kind of a context, like a fortnight. Okay. Other than the video game Fortnite, it's not really used in everyday conversation. Okay. All right. So how do you use it? Okay. Okay. Fuang says for clothes, water, food when camping or hiking. Okay, that's the purpose. Okay, you adjust the shoulder, waist, chest straps, right? Okay. Zippers. All right, welcome Ace to our group of members. Good to have you on board. Send me an email so we can hook you up with those exclusive videos. Okay, and then the purpose, yes, the purpose is store food, water, clothes, books, camping, hiking, school, travel, right? Lots of purpose. Okay, all right, and experience. All right, so experience would be how was it received? Creative Edge, very good. Store a laptop, right? Happy, here's where you could use that idiom, over the moon. Okay, over the moon means very, very happy, as many of you know. I know a lot of people love using this idiom. Just make sure to use it appropriately. So the person was very happy. Adventure together. Okay. Seventh heaven, creative edge. Again, we don't use that too much in modern day English. We use cloud nine a little bit more. All right. Okay, so then as the last step, we need to have our first sentence ready. So here, talk about a gift that you have given someone recently. So we use this topic of the cue card to create the first sentence before the 1 minute preparation time is up, so that we can speak quickly and fluently when the examiner says, please begin speaking, okay? So get your first sentence ready. Before your 1 minute preparation time is up, okay? This is a very important strategy. So I think Patek, you said you have an exam coming up tomorrow. Remember this step, okay? So for instance, in this case, about a month ago, I bought my best friend Corey a new hiking backpack for his birthday. Okay, so there is my first sentence. And now when the examiner says, okay, your 1 minute preparation time is up, please begin speaking. About a month ago, I bought my best friend Corey a new hiking backpack for his birthday. Okay, now before you tell, so one of the big mistakes that a lot of students make is they start answering the why question. So a lot of candidates, I should say, what they will do at this point is they'll right away go, the reason I got him this pack is because Corey really likes to go on outdoor adventures, and he needed a new pack. And then what happens is the candidates start to kind of repeat themselves. So I decided to get him a new backpack because I knew he would really like this present for his birthday. And then because they kind of gave the answer, gave the reason, then they start to go off topic. Corey is a really great guy. He is hardworking, and we have been friends for almost 10 years. Okay, does anybody recognize this pattern? Okay, it's a very common pattern in IELTS speaking part 2. Okay, so let me put it here. So this is not a great way to do your answer or to give your answer. It's a very common pattern that I see where a common incorrect answering pattern on part 2 is candidates give the answer, the reason, then repeat and go off topic. Okay? It's kind of because like they answer the main question of the card right away, and then instead of paying attention carefully to the cue card, and instead of paying attention to detailed descriptions based on the topic of the card, they just start paying attention to the main idea again and again, so they repeat themselves. And then they also start paying attention to other parts of what they're saying, like the person Corey, instead of the actual gift that this cue card is focusing on. Okay, so anybody recognize this pattern? This is a bad pattern. Okay, so of course the question here that you might be asking yourself is, how do I get out of this pattern? Okay. And the way to do that is by staying with the structure of appearance, origin, the utility or the use of the object in this case, how do you use it, the function, and then the experience, and staying and paying attention to the cue card question in your notes. And as long as you do that, you can avoid this pattern. Okay. All right. Ace, thank you for your super chat donation. That's amazing. All right. So that's how you avoid this pattern. Okay. Oh, wow, Ace, that's super cool. I'm so surprised that you came back to share that. I would love to get your testimonial. So when you have a little bit of time, if you can send an email to us and just your words, your testimonial, I'd greatly appreciate that. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. All right. So how can you avoid this incorrect pattern? Stay with the strategy. Okay, stay with the strategy. And remember, appearance, origin, the utility, the function, and the experience. So let's go back to the beginning here. About a month ago, I bought my best friend Corey a new hiking backpack for his birthday. Good. All right, so what does this backpack look like? All right, where does it come from? So this is a medium size $40 Columbia pack with many compartments and waterproof. It is great quality and popular among customers, let's say, without going too far off topic. Okay, So there we go. Just a little bit about its description. Okay. So it is great quality and popular among customers. It's blue and black. All right. Let's not forget the color. Let's give it some color. All right, students. So, so far so good. Now, members, I see that you're quite quiet in the chat there. Make sure to contribute. So think about it in these steps. So appearance, right? Origin, where does it come from? Give me some sentences. Let's see what you have going on there. Give me some sentences to add to this response about the backpack. Okay. All right. And let's get this part further down where it should be. Okay. All right. So origin, right? I got the pack for about $150 at the sports store in the mall near my home with a gift receipt Yeah, Chayani's saying, what if I answered with a handmade object? It's possible, Chayani, but again, it's more difficult. So if you start talking about an object that you made for your friend, you can do that, but you're going to get yourself into a more difficult situation, right? Because describing, excuse me, how you made an object and the steps it took for you to make it, it could be a lot trickier than simply just talking about a common object like a backpack that you bought for your friend, okay? So again, don't get yourself into a tough situation, all right? Don't give an answer on the IELTS that you really want to say from your heart. But on the IELTS, it's important to speak from your mind, from logic, rather than from your heart. When we speak from our heart, from our emotions, we get into tricky situations, and even in our own language, we sometimes get into confusing situations or conversations that take a lot more than just 1 or 2 minutes to create clarity, okay? So on the IELTS, definitely speak from the mind and not from the heart. The examiner, keep in mind, sees dozens of students each day. They're not going to get all emotional with you based on your response. They're not going to be like, hey, you made the present? That's amazing. Good for you. They don't care. They're just listening to your English, right? So keep that in mind, okay? All right. A good question, Chayani. So keep it simple. Remember, keep it simple. So I got the pack for about $150 at the sports store in the mall near my home with a gift receipt, just in case Corey decided to exchange it for a different one. Okay? So keeping in mind that it's a gift, right? Something that I had got my friend, okay? All right. All right. So far, so good. So about a month ago, I bought my best friend, Corey, a new hiking backpack for his birthday. This is a medium-sized 40-liter Columbia pack with many compartments and is waterproof. It is of great quality and popular among customers. It's blue and black. I got the pack for about $150 at the sports store in the mall near my home with a gift receipt just in case Corey decides to exchange it for a different one. I had given him this present for his 30th birthday because I know that he loves the outdoors, and we had gone on many adventures in the past. He needed a new pack as his old one tore on our last hiking trip. This pack has a waist and chest strap to make the load easier to carry, and is ergonomically designed for long walks in nature. All right, so I'm getting a little bit fancy here just to show you the type of language that can get you those high band scores, the type of vocabulary. If you don't know this vocabulary, it's okay, all right? You don't have to use fancy vocabulary. You can still get a great band score. What's most important is that you're coherent, okay? All right, don't go off to the side on ideas. So Creative Edge, I see that you say, however, I didn't have enough of a budget. Off topic, it's not important. Don't add pieces like I didn't have enough of a budget. It's not a part of the card, right? Again, stay on topic, right? He was ecstatic when he opened the box, and he told me that it had been the exact pack he had wanted to purchase. Okay. What kind of grammar is this? He had told me it had been the exact pack he had wanted to purchase. What kind of grammar am I using here? Or what kind of language? Creative Edge says he was flabbergasted. That's a kind of a funny word. We use it sometimes. Flabbergasted means very happy. Fuang says I'm using a lot of past perfect here, which is true. And it's reported speech. Very good, Romelia. So yes, very good, Romelia. It's reported speech. Now, in the IELTS, as you know, they are marking your grammatical range and accuracy. For grammatical range and accuracy to get into those higher band scores like 7, 8, 9, it's good to practice reported and indirect speech, okay? So make sure to practice, and if possible, and natural, use reported, also called indirect speech. Okay, it's very good to be able to use that. That shows that you're able to use advanced English grammar. So if you are not sure about what that means or how to use it, make sure to check it. Okay, check it in your grammar. So natural and reported speech. Okay. Natural, reported, indirect speech. So he had told me, she had said, okay? Just watch the tenses. They always move back a tense, okay? So he was ecstatic when he opened the box, and he told me that it had been the exact pack he had wanted to purchase, okay? The pack can fit his clothes, water, and food for a 2-day hike. No problems. Okay, now at this point, I want to check the card. All right, to make sure that I answer all the questions. So here, because I'm talking for a while now, I'm well into a minute, right? So what is the gift? Yes, check. Okay, I got that. Where did you get it? I said at the mall, at the sports store. When and why did you give this gift? I talked about that. How was the gift received? And do you expect a gift in return? I haven't answered that one yet. Okay, so I need to answer that. All right, make sure to answer all the questions on the card. All right, let's do it. So let's answer that question. Do you expect a gift in return? Okay, so here we go. I gave Corey this birthday, or you can use a little bit more fancy grammar. You can say, I had given this gift to Corey. What's the vocabulary if you give without expecting in return? There's a nice high level word in English that actually says to give without expecting in return. Anybody know what that word is? To give without expecting anything in return. It's one of the most beautiful behaviors of humanity. It's not sincere. It's not unconditional, Romelia, although it's a good word. You could say I've given this unconditionally. Yes, it's possible, Romelia, but there's a better word. It starts with an A. L. A-L are the first two letters. Can anybody guess it? It's even better than unconditionally or sincerely. Not out of the blue. Out of the blue means, yes, exactly, Romelia, altruistically. Altruistically. To be altruistic. Okay? I had given this gift to Corey altruistically. However, he usually does buy me gifts on my birthday as well. So I'm sure eventually I will receive a present in return. Okay? All right. So again, altruistically. Okay, try to repeat those words. Altruistically. Okay. All right, everybody. So here we go. Practice this with me, okay? Your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking. About a month ago, I bought my best friend Corey a new hiking backpack for his birthday. This is a medium-sized 40-liter Columbia pack with many compartments and is waterproof. It is of great quality and popular among customers. It's blue and black. I got the pack for about $150 at the sports store in the mall near my home with a gift receipt, just in case Corey decides to exchange it for a different one. I had given him this present for his 30th birthday because I know that he loves the outdoors and we had gone on many adventures in the past. He needed a new pack as his old one tore on our last hiking trip. This pack has a waist and chest strap to make the load easier to carry and is ergonomically designed for long walks in nature. He was ecstatic when he opened the box and he told me that it had been the exact pack he had wanted to purchase. The pack can fit his clothes, water, and food for a 2-day hike. No problems. I had given this gift to Corey altruistically. However, he usually does buy me gifts on my birthday as well. So I'm sure eventually I will receive a present in return. Okay, your time is up. Put the note paper to the side, turn it over, as well as the pencil. And now we will continue with part 3. And that's how it goes. Okay, so that's the idea. That is a high band part 2 response, answering all the questions on the card with a unique answer. Now, again, just a quick refresher here, students. Remember, to come up with this kind of an answer, you want to think about a gift that is relatively simple and has use, has a clear purpose, okay? So it's not something that's symbolic, or it's not something that's very complicated, all right? Okay, so now, members, you can try this. So you can talk to me, you can try this. Go to the website, okay? Log in to your My Student account. You can create an account with either of these buttons, getting the full premium course, or getting the free version of the course with the green button, and then go to your My Student account. Okay, in your My Student account, go to Student Partner Speaking. This is at aehelp.com, so go to Student Partner Speaking. And then in the Student Partner Speaking, hopefully we'll have some people in here. So we have Munchie, Patek, Sai, Peter, Alfred, Chayani, Fuang already logged in. That's good. Students, it's good to log in at the start of class. If you know that in these speaking classes we are going to be doing this practice, log in, get ahead of the game, right? Log in and be ready to volunteer. Now, to volunteer and to speak with me, find me in here. I am going to be listed as Master. Okay, and then click on the blue envelope beside my handle, Master, and send me a message. Just say, I want to volunteer. Okay. Now, in this class, the members have first priority. Okay. And I know that Patek, I think you said you have an exam coming up, so definitely I highly recommend that you volunteer. Okay, there you are. And let's reach out to Patek. Are you ready? Okay. Hello, Patek. I don't hear you. Check your settings. I'll check mine as well. But it should be good because I can hear the chimes in my headset. Patek, check your settings. I don't know what's going on your end, but check how you're set up there, your microphone and your connection. Okay, and then call back. I'll check back on you. Okay. All right. Let's. I think Sunantha was the next one who volunteered. Sunantha, are you ready? I think Sunantha was actually the first one to volunteer. All right. Hi, Sunantha.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Okay, that's good,
How are
Sunantha.
you?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. Okay, Sunantha, you are in Thailand?
Yes.
All right, I guessed it right. I'm trying to remember where some of our regular members are from. It's tricky, though. There's a lot of people from a lot of countries. What part of Thailand, by the way, Sunantha? I never asked you. So are you in the capital? Are you in Bangkok?
No, live in Rayong. It's close to Pattaya city.
Okay, yep, I have an idea of where
Far
that
away
is.
from Bangkok, just 2 hours.
Yes, yes, yes. I visited Thailand 20 years ago. Oh, I just realized how
Oh
long
my
that was.
god.
Yeah, 20 years ago. I'm sure it's changed much since then. Okay.
Okay.
All right, Sanantha, let's do part two here. So I will start you off, and as usual, you can choose to give the response that we practiced. So, talking about giving a backpack to a friend or a family member, or if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can give a different response. It's up to you. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right, so here we go. So for speaking part two, I will show you some questions. You will have 1 minute to read these. Think about your answers. You can take notes in this 1 minute time if you wish, and then you will have 1 to 2 minutes to speak. I will tell you when to start and when to stop. Talk about a gift that you have given someone recently. Your 1 minute preparation time begins now. Okay, your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
Okay. Last month, I bought a gold ring for my mom on her birthday. Okay. I plan to buy a valuable gift for my mom I because mom always give me a birthday gift, and I bought a gold ring from the shopping mall. That's the jewelry store on the shopping mall is very quite popular and reliable, and far away from my apartment, just for 10 minutes by car. And I bought her by 20,000 baht because I want to give her a big surprise. I won a lottery, but I didn't tell her, and I have enough money to buy a ring gold for her. And she is very surprised and happy with my present, and she give me she give me a little bit money because she think this gift very big, and she thinks me or don't have enough money to buy her and to give her. And I I very proud of myself that I can save the money for and correct money for her because
Okay, your time is up. I will stop you there. Please put the note paper to the side as well as the pencil. Turn the note paper over. We will now continue with part three. Okay, Sanantha, so that would be about a band 5.5 according to the IELTS examiner. The reason being is that it was a good answer, so I'm clear on what you got, who you got it for, why you got it. You didn't answer all of the questions on the card in time. The organization was okay, but it could have been better. The grammar was okay, but it could have been better. The vocabulary was also okay, but it could have been better. So that's kind of the idea behind the band 5. So not quite a band 6 fluency. The vocabulary was easily a band 6 to 7, though, for sure. You need to be a little bit more fluent, a little bit more connected. Stay with the structure,
okay.
Sanantha. So stay with the structure. Okay, let me show you. So remember what I said a little bit earlier in the lesson? I said that a lot of candidates make this mistake where they say what they bought and why they bought it, and then they start to get into trouble, right? And you kind of had that happen. So let me show you what I mean. I said, okay, your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking. You said, last month I bought a gold ring for my mom on her birthday. Great. You told me what you wanted to buy and what you bought. Okay. Then you said, I planned a valuable gift for my mom because my mom always gives me a birthday gift, and I bought her a gold ring from the shopping mall. So here you gave me the reason why you got this gift for her. And then you were smart. You're like, okay, I got to go back to origin here. Like, where did I get it from? So you said, okay, and I bought the gold ring from the shopping mall, from a reliable jewelry store that's popular. It's 10 minutes by car, and I bought it for 20,000 baht. I can't remember how to spell baht, so I wrote bath, but yes, Thai baht, right? So you got it for 20,000 baht, and that's fine. And then here in this part is where you started to kind of go off topic. You lost the structure of what you need to include. You started to say, I won the lottery, and I didn't tell her. That's starting to be a little bit awkward. I'm guessing you probably didn't win the lottery, so you're making this up. And you're starting to go off topic. Okay, that's what the examiner's thinking. That's what I'm thinking at this point. Sanantha, what should you have done instead of saying, I won the lottery? What should you have said here? And other members in the chat, you can also give some suggestions here. So what should Sanantha have said here instead of saying that, she won the lottery and that her mom gave her money back? So instead of that information, what should Sanantha have focused on here? Sanantha, you can answer this too.
I should avoid to answer about the funds or the money. I should pay attention only the object, the.
So what can you say instead of this information? What could you have said that would have made this a little bit better? There's one piece of information here, Sanantha, that's really missing for me on this topic of this ring. What's really missing for me here?
Because I will lottery and.
No, it's nothing. We all want to win the lottery, Sanantha, but let's forget about the lottery. Something critical is missing here. What's missing? In fact, I would have maybe even said this even earlier in the response if I were you. So remember the structure. What's the first point when you're talking about an object?
This first part.
Yeah, so when you talk about an object, there's about 5 different key points that you need to focus on. Remember, we talked about it at the start of the class. Fong says, is it the usage? Yes, Fong. What is the appearance? That's right. You're telling me that you got a ring for your mom, a gold ring. All I know about it is that it's a gold ring. All I see is just one round gold ring, right? I don't see anything. Is it like a wedding band? Like what is this? What kind of a ring is this, right? Its appearance. What is this? What does this ring look like? Okay. Is it for the pointer finger? Is it for the also called the index finger? Is it for the middle finger? Is it for the ring finger? Is it a pinky? Is it a thumb ring? Which finger is it for? Which hand does she wear it on? What does it look like? Does it have any
ring?
Does it have any shapes, right? For example, I know in Thailand, elephants are a very common motif. So maybe there's an elephant motif on the ring or a tiger motif. Does it have any stones in it? Does it have a diamond in it? Does it have a ruby in it, right? A sapphire in it. So what does this ring look like, right? What size is it? Is it a size 5, a size 6 ring? So, what give me a little bit more. Is it white gold? Is it red gold? So what kind of gold is it, right? 14 karat, 18 karat. What's the carat of the ring, right? So there, if you think about it, and this is where your notes would be useful, because if I were writing my notes, I'd be writing my notes like something like this: ring finger, 14 karat, white gold. So that's what my notes would look like for the appearance of the ring, right? Maybe elephant head.
Yeah.
Right? So something like that, right? And then I can describe what it looks like. So the examiner's like, oh, okay, it's a very pretty ring that, she got for her mom, right? And then Fuang is right, the usage. So why did you buy this ring for your mom? What was the purpose for her, Sanantha, to have this ring?
Because she really loved to wear a jewelry, and she loved gold. She liked to, yeah, she liked to wear a lingo and
You might say something like
backless, gold, gold
you-
backless, and
and you might say something like dress up to go out for restaurants, dancing, on a date with dad. Right? So something like that. So I got her this ring so she can look pretty. Her hand can look pretty when she goes out to a restaurant or she goes out dancing, right? She likes to wear jewelry. Exactly. So that kind of information was missing from this. Now, again, rings are quite symbolic. So rings are tricky to talk about. Jewelry can be tricky to talk about. So you have to be careful with symbolic types of objects, okay? So,
Okay.
Sanantha, and this is not just for you, this is for everybody and all the members, stick to strategy. So appearance, origin, it's how's it used, right? Does she put it on in the morning, takes it off at night, or she wears it all the time, right? So it's function, and then does she wear it for special occasions only, or does she wear it every single day, right? So it's function and then the experience at the end, okay? And then you don't go off topic, like saying I won the lottery, she gave me money back. The examiner will stop you as soon as they start to hear that kind of, Now the other last point here, Sanantha, is look at the card. Do you expect a gift in return? Before you start to say ideas like I won the lottery, you should look at the card and say, well, I don't expect my mom to give me jewelry or a gift in return. I gave this from my heart. Okay, so you need to answer that. Okay, Sanantha? So strategy. Any questions, Sanantha?
Okay. I have no question now. But I just change my topic. I know it's a different item. Just change to talk about going.
And it's good to challenge yourself. It's good to challenge yourself. So what you want to do
in
is,
my mind.
and it's perfect. You want to do that because in the real IELTS, it is kind of a surprise. It's always a surprise. So it's good to do it that way, Sanantha.
Yeah, because I'm unexpected to be a first one.
Yeah, and so what you want to do is, in an hour or 2 hours, try to answer this cue card again with the same idea, the
Okay.
ring, but then try to do it with a better structure, right? Okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, bye, Sanantha. Okay, that was Sanantha. Let's give Sanantha a thumbs up there. Let's go back to Patek, see if Patek has fixed whatever was going on. Are you ready, Patek? And the reason I'm giving Patek a second chance is Patek has the exam tomorrow, so we'll give Patek another chance here. We've got a bit of time left. We'll be able to do a few more people. So Patek, okay, let's give this a shot. Thanks for the thumbs up, by the way, everyone. I see lots of thumbs up there in the chat. That's fantastic. I can't hear you, Patek, so whatever's going on, I think, is still going on. Romelia, I thought I saw you in here earlier. It looked like you were really excited to get in there, but I don't see you anymore, Romelia. I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure if you had to run off somewhere. But I want to give you a chance. You told me earlier you're really excited. Fuang wants to give this a shot. Let's see if Fuang is ready. Are you ready? Yeah, Patek, test it out. Test the system. And then remember, we'll have speaking part 3 after this as well in the next class. So just check to see what's going on. Okay, maybe try using a VPN. Hello, Fuang. Also, Fuang seems to have some kind of an issue as well. Maybe I'll restart the chat server between this class and the next class. But Fuang, I definitely don't hear you at this point. Yeah, I can see that you can't hear my voice. Students, if you're using a mobile phone, it can be tricky, by the way. And also make sure that you don't have other software using your video camera or your microphone, because if you do, then it can only be used by one piece of software at a time. So you might need to close another piece of software that's running in the background. So check that out, okay? All right, let's see. There's Romelia. Okay, Romelia, are you ready? Yeah, computers definitely work the best, especially for web applications. However, exciting news, we will have the speaking being developed for our phone app as well in the next little bit here. Okay.
Hello.
Hi, Romelia. How are you?
A bit nervous, but I hope to do a good job.
No need to be nervous, Romelia. You have fantastic English. Just stick to structure. Stick to structure, okay?
Yeah, I'm going to talk from an authentic place because I've just experienced this, so I hope to be okay.
All right. Okay. Sounds good. Looking forward to it. I will start you off. So here we go, Romelia. And I'll introduce you a little bit. Romelia is living in Romania, and she is an avid fan of English and wants to prove a very high level of proficiency in English, right, Romelia?
If you say so, who I am too.
I do. All right, Romelia, let me start you off. So here we go. So for part 2, I will show you a card with some questions. You will have 1 minute to prepare your answers. You can take notes in this 1 minute time if you wish. Talk about a gift that you have given someone recently. Your 1 minute preparation time begins now. Okay, fast forward in time. Your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
Okay, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm ready. I've just made this gesture and offered a gift to my friend, a close friend, who is a very huge fan of Spanish culture and a competent Spanish speaker, but she haven't managed to go to Spain yet, and she's very eager to get away from it all and visit Madrid and later around maybe. And my idea was to buy a ticket and book a vacation. Actually, I booked with British Airways, which is a prominent brand. So I'm pretty relaxed with the services, and also the hotel. It's Novotel, a 4-star hotel in Madrid with pool, parking, laundry, even laundry services. So quite lavish, I would say. I hope we are going to enjoy this vacation. We've been to London together, and we had a blast there. So I hope to repeat the experience. Yeah, if I expect something, no, really, because I'm a firm believer that when you genuinely offer a gift, it's kind of a one-way highway. I mean, you don't have to have expectation. So yeah, here we are, looking
Okay,
forward to
your time
our
is up. I will
vacation.
stop you there.
Yeah, I was telling well I know.
All right, I will stop you there. Your time is up. Please put the note paper to the side, turn it over, the pencil as well, and we will now continue with part 3. All right, Romelia, that would be about a band 7-ish, 7. Maybe some examiners 7.5, maybe some examiners 6.5. It's a little bit tricky. You have a good idea. You have an original idea. It's definitely a difficult answer. So I would not recommend choosing this in the real IELTS exam. It's tough to talk about. I wouldn't choose it.
I never go for the easy way.
No, for practice, it's great. I think for practice, it's a good idea to try a difficult answer, even if just to feel and understand how difficult ideas can get you into trouble in the real exam, right? So even just to learn that point, it's good to choose a more challenging answer. So let me give you some feedback of why.
Exactly. What can I do to improve? How would be my
So-
answer better?
Yeah, exactly. So, good question. First of all, you need to answer more directly. Just mute, Romelia, can you mute YouTube? Because I can hear the feedback from YouTube still. So if you click the little speaker button on YouTube, and then it'll be a smoother, quieter experience here.
Oh, the YouTube.
Yeah.
Is it best?
Yeah, it's way better. So first of all, and this is for everybody, you need to answer the question directly. Talk about a gift that you have given someone recently. I didn't actually get your answer till about your third sentence. And so as your examiner, I'm like, does she know what she's actually supposed to do here? That's what I'm thinking in the beginning. Because you said, I've just made a gesture. You had a bit of awkward pronunciation on that word. Can you just repeat after me? Gesture.
Gesture.
Yeah, gesture. So that sounded a little bit, could have been just the headset connection, but still it sounded a bit awkward. I had to focus there to go, oh, that was gesture. I had just made a gesture. And offered a gift to my close friend who is a very big fan of Spanish culture. I still don't know what the gift is. Then you said she hasn't managed to go to Spain yet, but she's very excited to go to Madrid. I still don't know what the gift is. And then you said, my idea was to buy a vacation. I'm like, so there's your gift. It was a vacation package. Okay. You would want to start with that. Okay. So last week, I bought a vacation package for one of my closest friends. What's her name?
Oh, okay.
What's her name, Romelia? Just give her a name.
Christina.
Doesn't have to be a real person. Okay. So last week.
Christina.
Yeah. Last week I bought a vacation package for one of my closest friends, Christina, for 2 weeks to Madrid, Spain. Okay. So right away, now the examiner knows, okay, this is the gift that was bought recently for a friend. Okay. Direct. Your first sentence should always directly answer the cue
Very
card.
Straightforward.
It has to be, because the examiner only has 2 minutes to make sense of what you're saying. They don't know you. They don't know your friend. They don't know your experiences. So you have to speak to them very directly, right? And then you describe this. So the appearance here would actually be what it is, okay? So this is a 14-day all-inclusive package at a 4-star hotel in the heart of Madrid, and includes several different activities, such as going to a bullfight, museums, and the cathedrals. Okay, so there's where I'm describing the appearance of this package, what this package includes, okay? So now I'm starting to build that structure that we talked about, right? And then, of course, the origin. That's where you said, you know, I booked with British Airways online, right? Okay, so even if you're picking a more challenging answer like this one, Romelia, and this is for everybody else, you still need to stick to that structure in order to make more sense. And it's not the examiner that has to kind of unpackage and repackage the information to make sense of it. Do you get what I'm saying, Romelia?
Yeah.
Okay. Just try this beginning part one more time, and you're going to feel.
So no dramatic mistakes, like I don't know.
If you try to be
grammar.
No, you can't. If you try to be too dramatic, too fancy, you just end up getting yourself into trouble. Try it the way I just showed you, just the beginning part. So let me start you off again. Your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
Also, I have to read again.
Just like how I introduced it. You don't even have to say exactly what I wrote, but I just want the same structure. Okay. So your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
Okay. Last week, I bought a vacation package for one of my closest friends, Christina, for 2 weeks to Madrid, Spain. I booked this package with British Airways. It's a 40-day all-inclusive package at a 4-star hotel in the heart of Madrid, and includes several different activities, such as going to a bullfight, museums, and the cathedral tour.
Now I can start saying things like, Christina has been studying Spanish for the past 10 years, but she's never actually had the chance to go to Spain, right? So now I start giving the reasons and the experience and so on.
To soak up in the atmosphere of,
Yeah. Do you notice how that now makes so much more sense in relation to the card of the gift that you have given someone
to
recently?
the question.
Yes, exactly. So now with saying it that way, you're in the band 8 to 9 category of coherence.
There is a world of difference between your answer and how I conceive it.
And it's nothing fancy. It's nothing fancy, everyone. It's just structure, right? So appearance, origin, I'm just sticking to that structure as much as possible. Okay, so
mine was so chaotic. It
was chaotic, and I had to try to make sense of it, and you don't want that position. Okay, Romelia, thank you so much, though. I like how you shared that more challenging answer with us and allowed me to show everybody that you still need the same structure, even if it's a more complex thought like that, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Romelia. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
All right, that was Romelia. Let's give her a thumbs up. It was good. Okay, it's good to try. It's good to challenge yourself, just like Romelia did. And we're going to do that in the next class also, everybody. So in the next class, we've got speaking part 3. Don't forget to go to aehelp.com and sign up, gieltshelp.com, sign up there. Thank you for that great super chat donation, Ace. Again, that was I was flattered, honestly flattered by that super chat donation. I know that that's a considerable amount of money, and that's very kind of you. And again, send me, if you're still listening, send me that testimonial. I would love to get it. Students, we will use our websites in the next class as well to practice for speaking part 3, and that will be a continuation of speaking part 2. Thank you to our volunteers, Sanantha, and thank you, Romelia. We'll do much more speaking in the next class. We will spend more time practicing the speaking, and I will give you band score estimates and more strategies. So make sure to test your system, Patek, figure out what's going on, test it out, and then we'll get talking next class, everybody. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out for now, but I will be back in 25 minutes with speaking part 3. Until then, stretch your legs, have a glass of water, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.